Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're going to talk about the Krayt Dragon Raid rewards today. I heard you guys in the comments, right, that you think this raid is not good for mid-game, newer players, that the raid reward system is not as good as the old one, and I'm going to kind of provide some insight into a way that I think, one, I don't think these rewards are as bad as people think, and I think it gives Capital Games a lot more room to grow the raid reward system rather than where I think the old one was kind of locked into, what you were doing. So let's dive right in, guys. Before we do that, we need to talk about our king, Wampa. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel. That has been my channel goal. We want to hit 5,000. When we hit 5,000, there'll be a special live stream. We'll do some roster reviews, mod reviews, whatever you guys want to do. We can do that, but we first need to get to 5K, guys. Remember, Wampa may not be available to use in the Krayt Raid, but he's always in our hearts, and he is our king. So let's look at the rewards for the Krayt Dragon Raid first. So one of the biggest things that this game has kind of transitioned to that I think a lot of players maybe don't like as much is that it's a lot more guild focused. That your old rewards, you could have one person solo that raid and the entire guild would get better rewards. Now, there are actually maxes, right? That you can't score more than a certain number of points on every single attempt. And this is to basically make it so that way you have to work together as a guild. That is a huge, huge piece of this. And you look at the difference between each of these tiers, and you see that your first big jumps are 5 to 7 and 7 to 8. Those are the areas where you're getting the most bang for your buck. Obviously, they're making it better for those with larger rosters. So I do understand that. I hear you. So my guild right now, we're kind of, we're still in this initial one. We still need some people to hit this raid, but we're hoping we'll probably end up with the first, with this second box here. I would really love, my guild's goal should be to get to 130 million. And this is when you get the Mark III raid tokens, which are going to be the most valuable things because those you're going to be able to earn Relic 8, Relic 9 materials with. That I think that's the big thing that this game mode is going to offer players that the old one did not, is the ability to buy Relic materials. Let me show you guys the store. Because the other thing here, so either you need to hit that as a guild, right, 130 million to earn the Mark III tokens, or you can also earn it in your individual track by scoring about 4.5 million points here. If you score 4.5 million, you're going to be able to start earning those Mark III tokens. So, again, if you've got a couple of those teams with a little bit more, relic levels on them, you can start looking at this as a reasonable goal. Again, with what I have available, 2.9 million, damage, that's not terrible, right? I'd like to maybe up that a little bit more, get closer to this 3.4 million, but again, something I'm going to constantly shoot for. So let's look at the store here. And you'll see that the guild activity there still remains the same. The one thing I did notice is that you can't earn these shards anymore. They're basically, you have to buy them with currency. This is the one area I have a problem with because this was shard shop currency. So there goes shard shop currency. That's the one big issue I have, is they took that away from us. But in terms of this other stuff down here where you're using your new currency with it, while it looks on the surface level like you're getting less, I think what they're doing, and I could be wrong, right? Maybe they're just like, no, we just want you to get less. My gut assumption is that they are giving out maybe less, but they're allowing you to choose. So instead of giving you 100 gear pieces at random, maybe you're able to get 50 gear pieces that you actually need. And that could be significant. I think that's where I'm looking at this and saying, yeah, you know what? That's a good change. Because before, there'd be so many raids. Like, look how many of these pieces I have, right? Mark 7. I have 776 of these things. But I've only got, 74 of these, 129 of these. Like, it was so randomized. You look, I've got, plenty of these things and not enough of these. Or, I could show you more and more relic pieces where it's, yeah, look, I've got 334 of these and, the disparity here was huge, and I think they are trying to maybe help correct that a little bit and let us choose which pieces are going to be most impactful to our roster. So that's the one area of rewards that I'm very excited about. And then again, they're allowing you to buy relic materials out of this raid, and I think that's one of the most important pieces that players are missing, is that they've increased what you can actually use your currency for, and I think this is the big change. I understand the price seems a lot, but you got to think that before there was no way to get this in the raid unless you were scrapping that gear. So, I'm I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that I think this is a pretty good change overall, that they're trying to ensure that by doing this raid, you can hit some of those higher relics that you need to compete in things like Rise of the Empire, Conquest, etc. The rewards, I mean, they're not bad, right? You're going to be able to earn a lot of this gear using, all the different Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, and then even just your regular stuff that you're going to get for completing those, guild activities. So, I think overall, I can see where players are getting a little bit upset. The thing I'm noticing with the crate raid is that it's probably something that unless your guild is going to be able to get, farther along in these boxes, right? I'd say that most likely guilds are going to want to do the Heroic Sith raid still. I think that's going to be the one that guilds are going to need to do. What I'm going to be curious to see is if they, number one, if they change the rewards. I think they're maybe a little bit light, but they are allowing you the option to pick, and so I think that's a good thing for us, especially somebody like myself where there was a lot of raids. I'd even go and solo the, challenge or the Heroic Sith raid, and I'd get terrible gear out of it. So I think if they allow you to pick, I'm all for it. I think they went a little bit light intentionally to see how much they need to increase the actual rewards. I could be wrong. Maybe they never touch it again. Who knows, We thought that they would maybe do something with Reva and they haven't. So, I'm not trying to bash CG, guys. I mean, this raid is a lot of fun. There's some interesting mechanics here that I think are going to take a lot of time to unpack, and I think the factions they chose are going to be interesting to see how people use them to get the most out of their roster. I don't know, guys. Maybe this is a hot take. Maybe you guys hate this and, everybody stops subscribing because they hate the Krayt Dragon raid and hate that, I don't sit here and scream at CG every single time I make a video. But those are my honest thoughts, guys. I think that overall it's positive that they're creating content for this game. They want it to stick around for a while, and they want you to invest in it. And by invest, I'm not just talking about money. They always want to make money, right? Everything in this game has to make them money. But they want you to invest your time into this game, that they want you to feel like it's worthwhile to get those rewards. So that's the video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I am going to be putting out a new free-to-play update or free-to-play guide. Now that this raid is here, we've seen it, I'm going to let you know what my thoughts are and what I think you should be building. I love all of you guys. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.